Hey guys, it's that time again where I make ramen for my friends. Today's bowl is going to be a pork and Niboshi Shio, paired with super slurpy high hydration noodles and some rustic niibuta chashu. So, I welcome you to episode 3 of Ramen for Friends. The soup today is going to be a pork chintang, steeped with niboshi at the end. Starting off with the pork bones, you want a nice mix of femurs for the collagen and marrow, as well as meaty areas like back or neck bones for the umami. Toss these into a pot and add enough water to cover. Then turn the heat on high, bring to a boil and down to a low simmer. Skim any scum that rises to the top for around 20 minutes. During this time, make sure to stir the pot to release any scum that is stuck under the bones. After all the dark scum has been skimmed off, let this guy go on a low simmer for around 12 hours. You can also take a paper towel and carefully wipe off the scum stuck onto the pot to remove any burnt residue. When a layer of pork fat has built up over 1.5 hours of simmering, skim and reserve for later. This is done to harvest the fat at its peak flavor, as fats tend to start losing their aroma after 2 hours of heating. I then added the pork shoulder to cook in the soup, letting this go for 2 to 2.5 hours depending on the size of your chunk. This niibuta chashu will not only taste amazing, but will also add extra umami and porkiness to the soup. I took mine out at around 2 hours and steeped in some jiro gaeshi that I had left over in the fridge, marinating for 1 hour. The Seabura takes around 4 hours to soften, so you want to time that with your serving time as well. Then comes the fun part. I have some beautiful katakuchi iwashi, which we are going to dump into the porky soup at around the 10-hour mark, letting this steep for around 1.5 hours. But keep tasting and find the sweet spot based on your personal preference. During this time, you want to return the pork fat that you initially harvested back into the soup to be infused with the niboshi flavors. Then, after around 30 minutes, skim and reserve to be used for our aroma oil. This soup, once again, is best served fresh, with the niboshi flavors and the pork umami being most alive. The noodles we're making today are high hydration slurpy chubosome. The specs are 1% sodium carbonate, 1% salt, 2% whole egg, and 39% hydration. Whisk to combine and optionally place the kansui in the fridge to cool. As always, you want to aerate the flour before adding in the first round of kansui, mixing thoroughly, ensuring that all the kansui is fully incorporated before adding the next round. As my mentors taught me, an even mix is one of the main factors contributing to a great final surface texture. Hence, you really want to take your time to feel out the flour as it forms into sobro as you mix. Once all the kansui has been fully incorporated, you want to continue mixing for 20 to 30 minutes until the surface of the sobro feels slightly dry. Then, toss the sobro into a Ziploc bag and step it into an evenly thinned out sheet. After which, you want to give it an hour rest to relax the gluten. While the dough sheet is resting, let's enjoy this guy together, shall we? Dewa, itadakimasu. After the rest, let's roll out the... Wait, forgot something. Now that's more like it. First, you want to carefully cut open the bag and release the dough sheets onto a cutting board. Then, halve it lengthwise and use a rolling pin to lightly thin out the sheet. Then, roll the sheet out from setting 0 to 3 on the marcato without skipping any dials, and repeat the same for the other half. For lamination, stack the two sheets on top of each other and press down to combine. Roll this back through setting 0 to laminate, then down to the 3rd or 4th setting without skipping any dials. Folding over once again to laminate. Repeat this for however many times you desire and based on the texture you're looking for. Personally, I went for 4 laminations to develop sufficient line gluten without disrupting the surface texture. After that, roll the dough sheet up onto a rolling pin and give it another 30 minutes to rest and relax the gluten. Then, for the final thinning, I chose to roll the dough out to setting 6 on the marcato and cut using the tagliolini cutter default to the marcato Atlas 150 for some nicely squared off noodles. Lengthwise, I went for 30 centimeters for a satisfying pull and slurp. Finally, dust with rice flour and lay them out nicely on a tray to display your hard work. These are best served fresh on the day of service, as the flour aroma will be most alive in your bowl. I've got to film the process, but the tare today is a pork, dried scallop, niboshi, and kombu dashi, mixed in with mirin, fish sauce, shiroshoyu, and 3 types of salt. This one's special because we're using taime koinchi from Numata Nori today, which pairs extremely well with the shio, melting into the soup as you eat. Link in the description if you're interested. Then we have some negi whites cut on a bias, sliced the chashu, and with that, everything is ready. So, let's put a bowl together, shall we?
今動き出す窓の外眺めて遠くで揺れる光同じ先見つめ、yeah、 心はもうきっと気づいてる君じゃなきゃ意味ないありきたりかな口ずさむラブソング唇に Your eyes tell me everything I need Your smile what I ever
Reese and Kai, how's the ramen?
All smiles. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Some of the best food I've ever eaten.
Is that us?
The flavours. Insane. The umami.
Yes, sir.
Umami mean.
He's got the terms down. Let's go.
I had an eternal umami.
Okay, thanks guys.
Makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Complex.
Let's go.
Amazing food, amazing food.
Thanks guys.